Hi everyone, I'm Cecilia Ding, a registered associate marriage and family therapist in California and a certified self-growth coach. This video is to talk a little bit about my therapeutic techniques and orientation. Often before coming to therapy or coaching, clients are curious about how I approach my relationship with them. To me, it's always important to have the clients lead the direction because you are ultimately the experts of your own life. I am here as a facilitator and an advocate who can help you accelerate or guide that process with some evidence-based techniques. Sometimes clients will ask if I specialize in anything. Well, there are techniques I use more often than others, and I do believe in a humanistic and client-centered approach. It's so important to stay flexible and open, and I keep learning new techniques and new evidence-based approaches because every client has different needs and every client's unique. And even for myself, when I go through therapy coaching, from time to time, I have different needs. So it's so important that I feel I stay flexible with myself so I can be attuned to what each client needing in each moment. I talked in another video about kind of looking at healing and growth in 3 different segments. For example, you might come wanting to heal from past traumas, and all of us to a certain degree have some scars and wounds from the past, because no matter how wonderful our parents are or how good our child might have been, there are always some disruption of attachment, some difficult experiences. The world is not always a safe place. For that, I certainly use a lot EMDR, brain spotting, DBT. Internal family system is a technique I often use. Connecting with our inner children, I find it very effective. And a lot of somatic and cognitive combined approaches that not just approach healing from a thought process or a cognitive process, but also activate our whole body in connecting ourselves to our inner resources and grounding ourselves, and strategically go in to some of these memories and processing them and desensitizing ourselves from their impact on our present life. And in terms of working with present day challenges, because there are clients who come to me relatively stable and very high functioning, and or just not willing or ready to go into past traumas because the timing is not right, or it's just not something that appealed to them. And that's understandable. We can use some of the more solution-based, cognitive-based approach where we focus on working on present-day behaviors, changing thought patterns, working with our emotional regulation, improving the quality of our life, or managing a better routine. Of course, sometimes in the process, there might be things that come up that seem to be related to a quite obstinate points that really stem in the past. And in that case, we might explore whether we need to go into that. Again, it's always your decision. And there are also clients who are actually more interested in moving forward in exploring how to expand and grow. And that's usually the area of coaching. And sometimes my clients will come to me working on the past or transition to working in the present or towards the future. So it's sort of a very holistic, connected cycle. I don't believe that we are ever truly just working on one part of our life, because sometimes working towards the future can bring out healing we still need to do in the past. But other times working in the present will make us realize we're ready to move forward and make change for the future, to grow even further. Particularly when clients might have the inclination or the resources to build long-term relationship, then we might use a psychoanalytic perspective or using extension therapy, really discussing and doing a little bit more talk therapy in terms of beliefs, in terms of motivations, but all the while, regardless of which technique we use, whether working in the past, present, or future, we're always building a safe attachment, which is the foundation of healing and growth. And I'm always incorporating mindfulness, as I mentioned earlier, and meditation, so that we can enhance our own internal connection with ourselves and activate a whole body resource in the healing or the growth or both. So that's a little bit about my approach and some of the techniques I use. And I find that there is gems and resources in all approaches. Ultimately, it depends on how it can be tailored to our own needs. I personally, because I'm passionate about therapy and my own personal healing and growth, so I often go through all of them just to better understand their healing and also help myself study how to be a better therapist or coach in those modalities. So that's all I can think for now. I'm Cecilia Ding. I'm a registered associate marriage and family therapist in California and a certified self-growth coach. Please check out my free online meditation room, which I find to be a wonderful self-care practice, and it's free to the public. I run it a few times a week, and everyone's welcome around the world.